What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details.
Woohoo!
This week,
a
movie that I have so much trouble describing to people, just using its title. I don't know, have you run into this problem too?
Oh my god, we ran into this problem when, scheduling the pod, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes.
The answer is a resounding yes.
Yeah.
I forgot,
tricky.
I forgot the full title of this movie.
So I looked it up.
Yeah.
This week we are doing a movie that you cannot call Jumanji 1. You also can't call it the original Jumanji, and now you can't even call it the new Jumanji. It is technically called Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. I have no idea what algorithm came up with that name as the best way to describe this movie.
Seriously, though.
Besides not just I don't know, you could get away with Jumanji the video game or Jumanji 2, cuz it is a sequel that more or less follows Jumanji 1.
Yeah, honestly, the way the movie is introduced is actually kind of crazy.
Yes, exactly. So I wouldn't say it's even, I don't really know what makes anything anymore, but I wouldn't say it's technically a reboot, right?
Isn't it a sequel?
Right. Yeah, it's just is it a reboot? So I always was under the impression that there's the difference between a sequel, a remake is separate from the reboot. I was under the impression that a reboot is something where it's this franchise has been dead for 20 years. We are going to restart it, either with a complete reimagining of the movie or a sequel that takes place a very long time in the future. Kind of like how it's I don't think that's necessarily true. You have Ghostbusters reboot, and then you have another Ghostbusters movie that's coming out next year, and it's is that a reboot? Not really, but I think we have to divorce the word reboot from remake and sequel. I think they should be different things, because it's clear that this is a reboot.
I slightly disagree. I feel like it's just a sequel.
Really?
Yeah, because it that's not a spoiler, whatever. But the game is the opening bit of the movie,
Yes.
So doesn't that just make it a sequel? I don't understand what's rebooted about the franchise. To me, it would be a reboot, and this is all very pedantic, but whatever.
Absolutely, but it's fine. Nitpicking, as it is known.
That's true.
We are pedants.
We are.
We nitpick.
A reboot would be if there was a new game with a new set of kids, but this is just the same game that transforms itself into a video game.
Ooh, see, okay. But there are none of the same characters, which I think.
Okay, so I guess that's where it really comes down to. Does the sequel have to have is this now going to be? And the answer is no, because this next sequel is a direct sequel.
Yes.
But will this now be the Jumanji anthology? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean. I would say that the reason that I feel like this is a reboot. I always understood the word reboot, and not even in computer terms, you're not remaking the computer. Or by getting a new computer, you're just taking the computer and turning it on and off again. Sometimes, kind of. I don't know. I guess that even means different things. I would say this is a soft reboot as opposed to a hard reboot.
Okay.
Or a factory reset.
Jumanji, the factory reset.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested in what people think about this, but it feels like a reboot because it's in the spirit of the original, and it even takes place in the timeline, but all of the characters are different. The world is different. It's not, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be different because in the original Jumanji, we never go into Jumanji, but it seems different.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's tricky. But yeah, we're talking about Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle because the new one comes out next week, Jumanji Ocean to Ocean. I don't know what the hell it's called.
What
Jumanji,
is it called? The Next Level.
One of them's a horse now. The Next Level. See, that's what this one should have been called.
That's a great point, right?
Yeah, this one should have been Jumanji Next Level. There's so many. Jumanji Game Over. Jumanji Wrecks the Internet. No, that wouldn't work. Jumanji 64. Jumanji and then a capital U after it. How do you do a video game? You just do a 2. CS,
yeah.
360. Yeah, I don't know. But I think Welcome to the Jungle, it's such a mad title.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very bad title.
It's so bad, I don't know. Could you do like Into the Jumanji verse? Like, could that be a?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it is, and but I think so. There's two distinct big differences between original Jumanji and this Jumanji. Number one, this one is based off of a video game as opposed to a board game, but also instead of the game coming out at you, you become part of the game.
Right.
So you could probably do something with like Into the Jumanji verse or like Into the Game or something like that. Journey into Jumanji. It's weird too. So like every so often a franchise will be rebooted and or whatever. And my thought is that enough of a thing that people care about it now? And this is one of those where I'm like, is this like people is this put asses in seats that it's a Jumanji movie specifically? Because I don't think anybody came for the Jumanji. They came for The Rock.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know?
And
the Bobby Cannavale, obviously.
We all love Bobby Cannavale. I could say confidently that this podcast is like the number one Bobby Cannavale fan podcast out there.
Oh, yeah. He's come up quite a few times because he's in everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we've actually ever done... Oh, I guess we did Ant-Man and the Wasp. He was in that. We were probably very, very nice to him there.
We loved
Spy.
Him. He said he made the movie in Ant-Man.
He's a nice guy. He plays a nice husband. And he's in Spy wearing way too much makeup, which is a whole lot of fun. And he's in other stuff too, probably, I think. He's everywhere. I think he's in The Irishman, maybe? Probably. Yeah, he's in there. He's one of the guys.
His son, Jake Cannavale, is in the most recent episode of The Mandalorian. Isn't that something?
Yeah, and he was the worst character. One of the worst Star Wars characters ever. He was also in a play I saw. He was on. Remember when Larry David went on Broadway and did a play called Fish in the Dark?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Look
and then
that.
Bobby Cannavale was on Will and Grace, apparently. iRobot or Mr. Robot. He's great. He's a chameleon. I wouldn't say he's like a character actor, but and man, does his character really break a lot of this movie. He's not done any favors by the script, because whatever really, really flimsy logic exists in this universe, almost all of it is like taken apart by Bobby Cannavale's character, whose name is, and I had it here, Van Pelt. Which, you know, that's two words.
Yeah,
it's
like
Van and then Pelt.
Like in Peanuts, isn't it Lucy Van Pelt? Linus
right,
Van
but
Pelt?
that's her last name.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh wait,
that's this guy. This guy's first name is Van.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's like, is there Scott Van Pelt, right? Like Van Pelt isn't a crazy last name, but it's a weird first last name combo. We'll get to it. Listen, there's a lot there. And I loved him in this. I think so. Let's start here. We're gonna talk about Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle and give a little primer on Jumanji generally. And then we're gonna go into spoilers and stuff, and then we'll do our classic Rex and all that. But there's like, I don't know, there's spoilers. Who cares? You've probably seen this movie. You have or you're never gonna.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's a movie.
Don't watch it now, I guess.
No. I would wait to see if the new one is any good. And if it is, then maybe just skip it and go straight to the next one. Because this one is the same as that one, it seems. Plus, it's got, what's his name in it? Danny DeVito. So that's already makes me more excited about this one than the one we're doing today.
As it should.
Yeah.
As it should.
We will see. But DJ, we're going to start with talking about Jumanji 1.
Okay.
Jumanji: Welcome to the board game that takes over suburbia. And that movie came out in like the 1990s. I want to say like 1995. It was a long time ago. You know what? I think it was actually 97. Which would make that, it was 95. It was a hit, but it wasn't like a humongous hit. Do you remember seeing it in theaters?
I don't.
You would have been like, what, 4?
Yeah.
So probably not for you.
Yeah,
I was 6. Probably not for me either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not even sure how old I was when I first saw it, actually. I don't know if it matters.
You have seen it, right?
Yeah, yes.
Well, I don't know, because I think you could see parts of it and then be like I think I saw it.
Like on
out
TV,
of order?
Like on TV and stuff?
Yeah.
Like Forrest Gump?
Exactly.
I definitely
and then kind of get the sense of it.
I want to say I saw it in like school, because that like kind of feels right. But I couldn't be like, oh yes, on this date I saw Jumanji.
Yeah,
but it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a movie that has Robin Williams in it. Robin Williams is around, and then the movie ends. Yeah, it does a good job at like utilizing Robin Williams. It's got a couple other people in it that actually, you know, a lesser movie may do nothing with or like do the wrong thing with specifically. So you got Kirsten Dunst in it. She's fine, very young, you know.
She's just doing the girl part thing, really.
Yeah, like the little kid, and then a guy named Bradley Pierce. I'm like, I gotta know him from somewhere. That face is super familiar. But yeah, like those guys. That's also got David Alan Grier plays the cop that's just trying to follow them.
Very
and he's
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
He's the shoe man.
Yes,
Soul Man.
Yes, that's right.
Soul Man, but SOLE Soul Man.
Yes.
That's what he was. Shoe Man would be that's like a guy you gotta tell to get out of here. Shoe Man, get out of here.
That's right.
The Shoe
Man.
Man.
And that's maybe and there's a lot of things that he probably wishes he could shoo away, like that elephant that sits on his truck or his car.
Yeah.
And then you got Bonnie Hunt is in there. I think she's the ex-girlfriend of Robin Williams that is now an adult.
Is she related to Helen Hunt?
I don't know.
I mean, Hunt's a pretty last name.
Yeah, let's see. I know this, so let's come on. Come on,
see.
biography. You usually say this to me. Maybe not. It's not coming up.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like it would be pretty high on our list of stuff. Yeah. Daughter of Alice Hunt. Yeah, probably not. And then the only other actor of consequence, I think it's definitely worth mentioning, is Jonathan Hyde, plays their father. No, plays Robin Williams' father.
Okay,
Sam Parrish.
yeah.
He also plays the hunter in that movie. And I always was like, is that supposed to be the same guy? And it is.
And I assume that's very purposeful.
I guess, yeah. Want to take a guess at what that character's name is? The hunter?
Oh, God. It's some very, like, British name, right? Like General Pershing P. William V.
Kind of.
No, I'm like,
not necessarily that British, but there's, yeah, it's kind of going for that. It's a name you may have heard before. His name is, and this is what the IMDb is saying, Van Pelt.
Wow.
So he's the bad guy in both of these.
They must have done that purpose, right?
But then what does that mean?
He's the same guy. It's gotta be.
Is he?
It's gotta be.
How?
What do you mean?
Because it's not. Like, they're not the same guy. Like, when Jumanji reboots itself, does it also recast all of its guys?
I mean, maybe.
Slightly more present-day guys? Because, I don't know. Because, yeah, he's a completely different guy. He's Bobby Cannavale. And then this guy is Jonathan Hyde, a character actor that I should know. Apparently he's in Titanic somewhere. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, so if people that don't know, the plot of Jumanji 1, original Jumanji, is some kids are playing a board game, a mysterious board game that's kind of like Parcheesi, but with more kind of business. And then the game starts, what happens? The game starts playing them. And it's like every time they roll something, there's some weird little rhyme that gives them chaos, jungle-related chaos. And one of the rhymes is like, here's Robin Williams, good luck, he's going to be a caveman. And it's because he got it's because he got sucked into the game back in the day, and he has been living there. Because if you roll, what is it, a 3 or 7 or something like that, the game eats you.
Whatever it is.
And he's living in a house, I guess he's living in a treehouse apparently. And then the 3 of them, plus eventually Bonnie Hunt, plus Bonnie Hunt, who joins the game because they need her to play, because those are the rules. They all kind of have to survive this chaos and finish the game, and then they get to be done.
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
That's kind of it. Yeah, it's way more than this. It's a kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like scary, but it felt like it was for kids. It was one of those movies in the 90s. It was like for kids, but like not really, you know?
Yeah.
It's for a kid, but a kid probably wouldn't want to watch it because everything looks weird and terrifying. People are getting eaten by stuff.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that you think it's for kids because it's like silly and the premise is all like wacky and there's hijinks and stuff like that. But really, at the end of the day, it's that could be a horror movie. Like, you could probably sell someone on like the fact that the first Jumanji is a horror movie, whereas like Welcome to the Jungle is 1000% a quote unquote kids movie.
Oh yeah, Welcome to the Jungle is because I didn't mind it very much, but I think it's a movie that most people would describe, not most people, but like I imagine for most audiences they were going for that. Like, that's pretty good. You know, it's not reinventing the wheel at all. But this was much more stylized and specific and kind of like ugly in ways. On purpose, the kid turns into a monkey, and that specifically was very upsetting to me. It was directed by Joe Johnston, by the way, who, speaking of style, also directed The Rocketeer and Captain America: The First Avenger. So very much in his wheelhouse, and like feels kind of similar. You know what I mean?
How about that?
Yeah, I like his stuff. Most of it. He did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, great. Jumanji, great, or pretty good. Rocketeer, great. Jurassic Park 3, no thank you. Wolfman, never saw. Captain America: First Avenger, great. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. Nutcracker and the Four Realms, have not seen. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Anything else about that movie that's interesting?
Interesting? I don't know. Robin Williams is like
about
classic,
Jumanji one
like,
that's like worth mentioning.
90s Robin Williams, and he's very good.
Yeah.
It's like unintentionally really funny. I think that's probably like worth mentioning. Or maybe intentionally really funny. But yeah, there's stuff where just like I remember there's like a stampede that like runs by, and like the mom or stepmom, whatever, sees this. And then there's like one little rhino kind of like hustled along behind them. Like the movie didn't need to do that, but that's like kind of really funny. Yeah, like at the very end of the movie, the parents are like, we're going to go on a ski trip, because that's how the parents die of the little kids. But then Robin Williams and Helen Hunt are like, or Bonnie Hunt are like, oh no, don't do that, because they know that they're going to die. So like weird shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very strange.
I mean, it definitely, I would say, better such a objective or subjective term. I think I enjoy it way more than I enjoyed this new one. But yeah, I think part of that might be nostalgia. I think part of it is, I mean, it's one of those like kind of what maybe the first thing I said. It's one of those vehicles in the 90s that was built around, not even built around, but was like, listen, you're a person in the 90s. You love Jim Carrey, you love Robin Williams, you love Eddie Murphy. That was more of an 80s thing. But this is another movie with them in another situation, and get ready to watch them do their thing. And you're not tired of them yet, so you're going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I like Jumanji 1. So then, 20 plus years passed, and for a reason I'll never understand, Universal or Sony or whatever decided to make another one. What do you think was their thought process? How do you think Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle came to be?
They're like, oh, let's go through our library of properties that we could do reboots on, because the 2010s is the year of reboots. That's what everything is. I guess it is a reboot, putting all this in context. And I really thought they said, oh, Jumanji, wouldn't that be fun as a video game? Because video games are the hot shit right now. This'll kill. This'll make us so much money. That's the only way I could wrap my head around this movie being made. Because there's not many other good reasons for why this movie exists.
Yeah, I can almost see it being almost like a, not like passion project, but I could see The Rock almost like with Black Adam, just walking into Universal, or because I'm pretty sure this is a Sony movie, walking into Sony and saying, you know what, I would make a Jumanji movie, and they would say, okay, we'll finance that. That seems reasonable. And then like did some like Google math, and it was like, you know what, this might work. And people searched for this more or less enough to justify making this movie, and then they did. Because yeah, this was not only when the reboots were the hottest thing in town, but this is when the Rock reboots were the hottest thing in town. Like 2011 was Fast 5, which is not a complete reboot, but kind of here's The Rock, let's make this franchise popular. G.I. Joe Retaliation in 2013, which I love, but, is a reboot of that. Furious 7, there's something else in here. Maybe not. Baywatch, rebooting Baywatch, which not great, but still a thing. Rebooting Rampage, kind of. Rebooting Skyscraper. There are a lot of reboots in that time with The Rock, and enough of them were successful that I do think he could just, walk into an office and go, I think I want to do this. Let's see if this works. And then I'm like, all right. Because, yeah, he was at the top of his, and he continues to be at the top of his game. Did you see this movie in theaters?
No. I saw it for the first time this week.
Oh, wow.
I got my Stars 7-week free trial and watched Jumanji.
Oh, nice.
Gotta get it.
And there's a lot there. Okay, DJ, do you want to guess how much money this movie made?
Oh God,
worldwide,
worldwide, $300 million.
Okay, and then guess this is a 2017 movie. I'm gonna give you it. So it's in the top 10 movies of 2017.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna give you a list of them out of order. I'm gonna skip the one that's just Chinese. I'll tell you, there's a movie called Zhang Lang that's number 8. I'm going to throw you the top 10 with 8 omitted highest grossing movies of 2017, and I want you to tell me what you think it beat, because it is not number 10. You got let's see, you got Spider-Man Homecoming, Beauty and the Beast, The Fate of the Furious, Despicable Me 3, Wonder Woman, Guardians 2, Star Wars 8, Thor Ragnarok, and then Jumanji. Who do you think it beat, and who do you think beat it?
Okay, all right. Can we do this? Give me the movie, and I'll tell you whether
and you'll say under or over. Yep, that's smart.
So if it's over, it beat Jumanji. Under, Jumanji beat it.
You could just say Jumanji beat it, or
all right, cool, yeah. Be less confusing.
You could say, how about this? You'll say Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and then that's it's Jumanji 1, and then if it's not a winner, if Jumanji made less than that, you'll say Ju-less-G, Goodbye from the Forest. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right. Like I said, this isn't any specific order. I'm just going to rattle through some of these movies. Fate of the Furious.
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Which one did you say?
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
You think Jumanji made more than the Fate of the Furious?
Yeah, I do.
It did not.
Oh, wow. Really? Wow.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Ju-less-G, Goodbye from the Forest.
Incorrect.
What?
Jumanji made more than Guardians 2.
I don't understand.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
That's correct.
Okay.
It made more than that. Thor Ragnarok.
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle?
That's correct.
All right.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Incorrect. Beauty and the Beast made more money.
What the... I don't understand.
Despicable 3.
Oh, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Incorrect. Despicable 3 made more than Jumanji. Star Wars Episode 8.
Ju-less-G, Goodbye from the Forest.
Correct.
Oh, my God.
And last one, Wonder Woman.
Oh, Ju-less-G, Welcome to the Jungle. Or Goodbye from the Forest. What?
All right, so in order, Star Wars Episode 8 made $1.3 billion worldwide. Beauty and the Beast, $1.2 billion.
What?
Fate of the Furious, $1.2 billion. Despicable 3, $1 billion.
Oh, my God.
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, $964 million worldwide. It is the 5th highest grossing movie of 2017. More than Spider-Man Homecoming, Guardians 2, Zhang Lang 2, the Chinese one, Thor Ragnarok, and Wonder Woman. Yeah.
I'm flabbergasted.
This was a humongous hit. I don't understand it. I really don't. It came out late in the year, I believe, but it's not like there was nothing there, because Thor was still going strong. Star Wars 8 came out late in the year as well. You know, you had Coco, you had Justice League, Slam Dunk of the Year. Like, it's not the only kids movie in there, because Beauty and the Beast, Despicable 3, Guardians, Spider-Man, like, I don't know if Guardians counts, but, you know, you got a bunch of kids movies too. It's astounding to me how much money this movie made.
Why do you think that is? Is it The Rock?
Yes, I do.
I don't know why The Rock still has so much pull, because
me neither.
Like, he hasn't made so many good decisions that it's like, oh, The Rock's in it, you know, awesome. Like, The Rock and Kevin Hart were in Central Intelligence, and that was like a pretty like fine movie, but God, it definitely didn't, you know, make so much money that you just believe they can do whatever they want, you know? Because The Rock also has quite a few, not like flops, but like a lot of his early 2000s stuff was pretty whatever. Like Scorpion King,
Faster, Tooth Fairy, like Get Smart reboot, like Game Plan. I don't remember any of those being like giant hits. I know like Doom, you know, like he was always good in his movies, and you always got the sense that a lot of the time I got the sense that he's probably better than the Doom movie. But I never got the sense that it's like this guy is box office gold. And I think him and Kevin Hart together helps this movie. But like you were saying, Central Intelligence, that doesn't matter. Like that movie didn't make very much money, and it was the same thing, essentially. And I doubt Karen Gillan is a big draw, even though she's good. And I doubt Jack Black is a huge draw, even though he's great.
I could see, especially given like in the trailer what he was doing and the premise of him being in like, or a girl being in his body, whatever.
Ugh.
Oh, whatever.
Get that girl in Jack Black's body. That's no fun.
A teenage girl, Jack Black personifying
high schooler.
a teenage girl. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Jack Black personifying
yes, I know what
a
you
teenage
mean.
girl like that. That's how you could get a lot of Sorry, my cat is attacking me, and it's like
it's very unhappy with the way you're describing Jack Black's part in this movie.
I think so. So if I'm pausing, that's why my cat just won't stop attacking me. But I actually see the Jack Black thing because I remember talking to people when the trailer came out, like, "Oh, Jack Black is so funny! Isn't this so cool? Oh, I think it'll be so good." So okay, this will be the test, right? Oh, okay. Do you know? I'll look it up. But do you know what the Rotten Tomatoes score for the first Jumanji is?
Which one?
Well, Welcome to the Jungle.
I'd put it in the high 70s, low 80s. Let's say 79.
All right, let's do some DJ Googling. But where I'm going
think I'm
with
pretty
this
good
is,
at this. So, what do you think it is?
Oh, I think it's probably like 40. Like I think it's like super low.
No, I think it was higher than that.
Okay.
Well, we'll see.
But where I'm going with this is like, is it enough to carry? Holy crap! Is this movie good enough to carry like it to like that kind of high, like top 10 of the year? Like if this next one is bad, will it do as well? Quick side note, not side note.
I don't think it will.
Jumanji got a 76 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy shit!
So how about this? I'll give you the other stat that I think kind of helps explain this. Let me just make sure I'm right about this. 5. It's not even. You know what else is interesting about it? It doesn't even have an insane domestic international like split. It made about as much, like 41% domestic compared to like Guardians made like 44%. Like Wonder Woman made 50. So it isn't even like Fate of the Furious where it made $1 billion and 18% was domestic and just overseas it was a gigantic mega hit. It really wasn't. It made money overseas. It did quite well, but that wouldn't explain it either. I really don't know. Like I think it's a very how would I describe this? Like unoffensive movie. It just, it's fine.
It's
not bad.
I think it's pretty bad.
I mean, it's definitely got its problems.
Bad. I was never entertained. I thought it tried too hard to be funny. Like, there's a legit part of the movie talking about the whole Jack Black personifying a teenage girl, where like she's just like amazed by, or whatever. Jack Black is amazed by his own penis, and it's like a whole fucking 30-second bit, and I wanted to punch myself in the face repeatedly. It's just so
there was
like,
a lot of that.
Yeah, and like way too much. There's nothing interesting. Like I don't want to get, I don't know, spoilers, whatever. There's like a live system. It never comes up. Like it doesn't matter. They might as well have infinite lives for how little the lives fucking matter. That would have been a great like oh, okay, quick rewrite for Jumanji. DJV movies. Make this movie so there's infinite lives, and then the kids are fucking around the whole time, and they have no incentive to go back. They're like, why would we go back to fucking school? School sucks. Let's stay here forever. And then they have to come to some realization for like why they have to go back. They could run into, spoiler, whatever. I won't say it yet. They could run into him and then realize, oh my God, like this isn't life. Like this guy's been here for 20 years. We should go back to our family because family's so important. But I just rewrote the movie. I made it so much better. Check, please. Let's go. Come on. Would that not be a better movie? You could be honest. You don't have to pander to me.
Probably. It probably would. I mean, I don't think the lives add very much to it.
Well,
but I also think a lot of the video game-ness in general doesn't add very much to it to me.
That's true. Edge of Tomorrow is more of a video game than this movie.
Oh, yeah. This movie, it's so... The video game part of it feels so much like... And it's so funny because the video game part of it feels so much like... Well, obviously, the kids love video games these days, so it's got to be a video game. Nobody plays board games anymore. Like, right in the board game renaissance of, like, the late 2010s.
It's honestly true. Like, board games are so on the up.
They're so in right now. I own way more board games than video games right now.
It's true. Like if they did a movie where it was more like a video game and they had infinite lives, you could have montages of like really cool stuff. Like you could have had the thing with Rock and Kevin Hart because they're rivals, like those kids are rivals, where they're just like killing each other, and like maybe that would have been way too violent or graphic. Or they're doing like insane competitions that like push their bodies to the brink. Like we're gonna run up a mountain and jump off it, like just like crazy shit like that.
Right.
Ugh. I feel
Yeah.
like that this movie's like a letdown because it doesn't do any of the stuff it's supposed to because it's so bad.
Right. Well, and it's also the last. I mean, it's so hard to determine if it qualifies as a video game movie, but it's probably the highest grossing video game movie of all time, even though it's not based off a video game. It's like about a video game. Although, I don't know, Ready Player One made a lot of money, but I have a feeling this way more. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to change the name of this podcast to So That's Interesting. Okay, let's talk about this. I do want to get into the Jumanji-ness of it all, because there is a lot to nitpick, but I want to touch on what happens.
Yeah, I have a question. Well, can you explain what happens with that? And then I have a question regarding that. I realized I didn't write it in my notes, but it's kind of coming to me as we're talking about this.
Yeah, so Jumanji, we love it. We love the first one. It's a great movie. The plot of this one is the kids do a breakfast club, and then they also do a Jumanji. But it's a video game now, but not really. It's a video game as imagined by someone whose kids play a lot of video games, and they pay some attention to it, but not really enough to completely grasp the concept. Almost like if you tried to make a basketball movie, but you'd seen a bunch of basketball games, but you never heard it. And you're just kind of trying to piece together, like, why is this guy trying to do this? What play is this? These guys have the basketball, so I guess that's good. But what is their goal? And maybe you didn't even have the numbers of the points in front of you. Yeah, it stars 4 kids, a nerd, a jock, a pretty girl that's like too cool for school, and a nerdy girl that's more of just kind of a brat. They're all kind of brats.
They're all stereotypes. So like so there's male nerd, and he's like the farthest approximation of like the nerdy kid, right? Maybe not the furthest, but like he's pretty
No, yeah, I
far
wouldn't say the first. I'd say besides the fact that he seems good at math, or like not math. What is the subject he's doing? English, I guess.
Yeah.
The thing that besides the fact that he's good at English and he plays video games and he's not great at talking to girls. The movie wants you to think he's a nerd, but if you didn't have those, I could be like, yeah, this kid's cool. He just seems pretty normal, honestly. Maybe I have a bad register for what a nerd is these days.
Well, no, because like maybe it's just his jock friend being a dick, but he's like, you're such a loser. No one hangs out with.
Yeah.
We have no idea who this guy's friends are outside the jock, so it makes me feel like he is a loner. But that might not mean nerd, but like somewhere in that category, like loner, nerd, something or other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I read anyway.
The popular girl is probably the most of a stereotype. Next to maybe the jock. I don't know. Those two are pretty flat.
The popular girl or the social media obsessed girl is like some executive's daughter, and like, yep, that's a character. That's all teenage girls like this now. And they're following just they're like this. Like that's that. The jock is a jock, super stereotype. And then the other girl is like, she maybe is like the furthest approximation of like the shy nerd. It's like sports is dumb and people are whatever. I don't want to talk to anyone. Everything's dumb. It's like maybe that. They're all weird stereotypes.
I mean, she's the one that I have trouble with the most because she's also like, besides being a nerd that doesn't get along with people, she's also kind of an asshole. Like, she's mean to the gym teacher, and like almost in that like Alex Dunphy from the Modern Family kind of nerd, where it's like such a giant chip on their shoulder that they're just like, kind of mean. Not that that's like her main trait, but you do get a fair amount of that. And she has like the popular girl's nice to her, but she's also kind of meanish to the popular girl. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's a point in the movie where the popular girl's like, the fuck's your problem? Come on.
Yeah.
No wonder you don't like people don't like you. You're kind of an ass.
That's true. That's definitely, there's some stuff on her there.
She's like, all the kids are fine. They're in the movie for like 20 minutes max.
Yeah. Which is, I think saves this movie.
Yeah.
If the kids got, that's the other thing too, right? In Jumanji OG board game, you get sucked into the game 1-for-1, and like things come out 1-for-1. Like, but in this, you get sucked in, and you're someone else. Like, it's not like Alan gets sucked in. That's Robin Williams' character, right? I think it's Alan gets sucked in.
That's right.
And now he's maybe he is, but it's like a new avatar.
I don't know.
That's true. We actually don't know that.
Was the one guy that got sucked into this game? I'm pretty sure he was him.
Oh yeah, the hell,
right? Yeah, I don't think even the most basic part of the internal logic of this movie and the conceit of why it's any good or even kind of watchable is consistent with itself. I'm going to go back because I have it in front of me. I want to just make sure the kid who, it's hard to tell because he has different hair. Yeah, you know what? This might not be the Jumanji guy, or this might not be the person that it ends up being in the...
Okay, his avatar was just the least interesting avatar possible.
It's close enough, though. It's not like he becomes The Rock.
Yeah.
He becomes a guy that kind of looks like him, but with a different haircut. But yeah, I guess he is supposed to be a different guy. I don't know.
It's silly 'cause it's like someone should tell him like, oh, I'm different. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
I comb my hair over. I'm someone else now.
Yeah, he's well, we'll get to him. But let's talk about the kid. So you got the nerd kid, the main nerd guy. When he goes into the game, he becomes The Rock.
Yep, and he's like, whoa, I smolder now.
Yeah,
That's like a whole
he's
thing.
strong.
Yeah,
he's good at boomerang. He's got a lot of skills. And he's like, and then so this is the fun part of the movie, the really fun part that I think more or less works. The four main characters, except for one, are playing against type. So The Rock, even though he's usually a confident, cool guy, even though about half the time he's not anyway, in this, he's a nerd who doesn't know how to kiss women and stuff. Even though, like we were saying before, I think like we said in previous movies, The Rock is very frequently an insexual, like a non-sexual being, because that would probably upset audience members in some set of audience members. Same way Tom Cruise is a complete non-sexual being in his movies usually.
100%.
So that's The Rock. Who else we got? We got the popular girl. Well, we'll skip her 'cause she's the best one. We got the nerdy girl or whatever. She's played by Karen Gillan from whatchamacallit, Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's good.
Yeah, fine.
I liked her in this.
Yeah.
She's like cool and hot and the only girl. And she also doesn't know how to kiss.
Yeah, and she's even though sorry.
Even though I assume the kid that The Rock is doesn't know how to boomerang. Seems
That's
like
true.
the game just gives you the ability to do stuff, and maybe the game just isn't about kissing.
Yeah, the kiss is not a
like
skill.
doing. Yeah. It's not The Witcher where it's like he's very good at kissing, and that's part of the game, and they're just like they're in the game, and the guy that created the game, who I guess is like a wizard or something, is like, ew, they're trying to kiss in it. Ugh, that's not what this is. Why is this every time a guy comes in here, he just tries to kiss everything?
They're doing the game wrong.
Yeah, they're going the pacifist route and the kissing route. And those aren't good, but
that's funny.
Hey, man, you do you. Jack Black, you wanted to explain Jack Black?
Yeah. Well, I did it so great the first time.
Yeah, let's do it again.
So I don't know if Jack Black is playing against type because Jack Black is always like he's Nacho Libre and he's Tenacious D, and he's always these really wacky characters. And in this one, it's like, it would almost be if like Jack Black woke up and had amnesia, and he's like, I'm a 16-year-old girl. It's like weird, like Don Quixote. Like, no, you're Jack Black. You're like a middle-aged man. It's like, what are you talking about? Insta for life. This is fire. So like,
I don't even have a dick. I'm like a girl.
So exactly. Like, so like, is he really even playing against type? I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess not. He's something weird, unusual, I guess, but not.
But he's
not
doing
against type.
He's doing Jack Black, right?
Well, I always assume his characters in the movies he's in know they have a dick. In this one, this time he doesn't. I would say that's like maybe one of his defining character traits.
That's true.
It's like, what if Jack Black had to play a character that didn't know he had a dick, and then he found it, and it was like, whoa, hold on, everybody, stop the presses.
It's like the worst part of the fucking movie.
It's pretty bad. Because
God.
If they have real dicks that, and I don't want to harp on this, except the movie really thinks it's funny.
They really do.
Dicks that are completely functional in every sense of the word. I don't know how the game doesn't expect people to be able to kiss and stuff. Was a programmer like just really hardcore, like we're gonna get every detail right, and then his other programmer wizard friend was like, well, what are they gonna do with dicks? I don't care. We're getting everything right as long as they don't kiss. That would be bad. That's a like perversion of my perfect game, whatever the hell it even really is.
That's a great point. We didn't even know what this game was before Jumanji took it over. Did we get sidetracked? Did we talk about how the Jumanji?
Oh, we'll get to that. We're just getting into Jumanji because we have one more character to talk about.
No.
Playing against type like he's never played against type before.
But JK, right?
JK. Kevin Hart,
As
everyone's
Kevin Hart.
favorite guy. Yes. Almost Oscar presenter Kevin Hart is going to be, he is the fridge, the like jock. And this jock, he's usually tall. That's his main defining trait, I guess. So the way that they put him in a situation where he's not tall is they give him a short guy.
Even though I think I know, I can't remember if I put this on my wheel or not. But like, and it's not like the actor's fault or whatever. And you know, the kid actor fridge is fine. But like, it's not like this kid is like a massive Goliath type like kid amongst like tiny kids. He's like a little bit taller and bigger, but he's like the fridge. I was like, I don't think so.
I don't think he's the fridge. He's the fridge, I guess, in terms of like he has no personality like a fridge. He can't write English paper like a refrigerator can't do that either. But yeah, he's just a kid. And yeah, he gets transformed into Kevin Hart, and then that character proceeds to be Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's not the personality of this fridge guy. Not even a little bit.
He has seen a Kevin Hart movie, and he knows what a Kevin Hart type is supposed to do, which is just never shut up and complain about how short you are.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I don't know, man. There's other stuff to talk about. Little video game child. Like, he never gets over it.
Yeah, it's like, I'm short. This sucks.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Like, it's very strange. Those are the four main characters. Who'd you like the best?
Oh God, The Rock, I guess.
I really liked Karen Gillan. I think she was very good in this.
Actually,
Rock was good.
Besides the dick bit.
The dick bit's so good.
Jack Black was quite funny. Like,
yeah, he's good in this too.
I'll give him that.
I wouldn't be not like surprised, but if I asked who's your favorite one, they said 3-way tie for everyone but Kevin Hart, I'd be like, yeah, that's about right. Yeah. It's pretty fair.
For sure.
Not that Kevin Hart is bad, but he's not doing anything new.
No. It's so basic Kevin Hart everything, like to an upsetting degree.
Yeah.
It's like, Kevin Hart's doing a Kevin Hart thing. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah. Oh God, no. Yeah, I couldn't care less.
Why is he here? What is he adding?
I mean, maybe he's adding box office fuel. I don't know. Maybe he's a huge draw.
I don't know. Like, it would be the thing. Well, like, he's not for me, but I didn't see Jumanji in theater. I'm not one of the 1 point whatever billion. So I guess
maybe the writer of this movie was like finishing the movie, and some executive was like, "There's 4 main characters, right?" And he's like, "No, there's 3." He's like, "Well, can you make a 4th main character?" He's like, "It will take me so long to write a 4th main character," and they just gave that guy 5 movies about Kevin Hart. Like, just do this stuff again. Here's the 10 jokes he's gonna tell, and you just have to change a couple words in each joke, and you're good.
All right,
but
I mean, sure.
I don't know. He's fine. Like he's fine. He's kind of. He's just, I don't know. He's just kind of there. Was there an actor that did the Kevin Hart thing before Kevin Hart? An actor that you would see in a movie and go, I think I know what he's about to do. Just complain about how he's short.
Like that specific thing?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Did that guy exist? Like David Spade? I don't know.
Danny
but like
DeVito?
They were like,
did he ever complain about how short he is? I don't know.
Not really.
Did he?
That's why I think we all liked him. Is he kind of just was a guy, you know?
Right. So I don't know.
And it may be not even short, but just like giant chip on their shoulder because they are less than the guys they're around who are like...
Oh, Tyrese.
You know.
That's his whole thing.
I was going to say Tyrese or Martin Lawrence was the other one. I was like, maybe him. But just from Bad Boys.
Yeah, it's true.
There's got to be another like wacky sidekick. Like an actor, let's see. Actors that always...
What a weird thing to Google. How
sidekicks.
How does that come up?
Well, we got some. Well, no, that's actors who always play the villain. Nice try. I was pretty clear, Google, that I asked for sidekicks.
This is not what I wanted.
Yeah, we're not doing great, guys, but we're gonna nail it. All right, 20 character actors who make everything better.
Honestly,
okay, this isn't what I wanted.
If I live in this world where Kevin Hart is like the first and only one to do this, I think that's great. I think the fact that this is like Kevin Hart's niche is it's terrible, but like good for him. That's commendable. Like
I would say
found a thing and stuck with it. Good job.
The character that I would say I could kind of compare to him the most, because okay, so here's how he works. He yells a lot about how he's short, and it's like maybe not. It's always about how he's short, but that's his character is informed by the fact that he feels like not as cool as everyone around him.
Yeah, less than.
Yeah, I would say it kind of feels like almost a less capable Rocket Raccoon. And maybe this is something that happens more in CGI movies or in like animated movies where it's a buddy cop movie and one thing is cool and one thing is not cool. And the cool, whatever, the cool thing has to like be like normal and then the not cool thing has to complain about it the whole time. Kind of like La Llama in Emperor's New Groove or something like that.
Yeah.
But again, I don't not like Kevin Hart, but he is the least interesting part of this movie by a mile.
Agreed. Oh, yeah.
And maybe it's not his and it's probably not his fault. They were probably like, do Kevin Hart stuff. And he's like, all right, I guess. You're going to pay me an obscene amount of money, I'm sure. And this movie's not a bad movie. But yeah, that was my big takeaway that right after I finished it is like, man, everything was really interesting. Not interesting, but like, this wasn't exactly what I was expecting. If you pitched all these actors to me, except for him, that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about this, DJ.
Okay.
And this is my first question on the wheel. We're into spoilers, kind of, but again, who cares? DJ, my big question, what is Jumanji?
I don't know what Jumanji is, because, okay, I think Jumanji's a board game, but in this movie, as it were, so, like, this movie begins, I don't know why this is so, like, I can't remember all of this, and some of it's kind of vague, but what I believe is that there's this kid, the kid brings home a board game, and it's like, oh, look, Jumanji, or whatever. It's like, this is a board game. Do people even do this anymore? Video games is where it's at. And then Jumanji transforms itself into a video game, because it got, like, jealous, I guess? Is that how that works?
Yeah, kind of.
What?
It like, seems to be able to morph into whatever is popular at the time, minus like 20 years usually, but like I guess if the kid doesn't want it, it goes like, all right, well, what do the kids love these days? ColecoVision or like Atari? All right, I'm gonna be an Atari now.
Yeah, like would it be a VR headset today? Is that what it would be?
So the today part I find less interesting. The behind part I find confusing. Was it tic-tac-toe? Was it a deck of playing cards before?
Yeah.
Jumanji is like, it's a board game, but it's a pretty like modern board game. It's not. It's more like it's pretty much Sorry mixed with Parcheesi. It's pretty much Parcheesi. Which if no one's played it, is the real game of India. It's just pieces moving around a board. But I don't think like Parcheesi is more than 100 years old. Maybe it is, but I feel like it had to be something before that because it seems like it was made in the like mid like Dark Ages. Like when do you think Jumanji the like I don't know spirit or land was created?
I don't know, man. Like, geez, like 18th century, right? Like it could be that old, right? It's just wood, dice. People have been carving dice out of bones forever, and like maybe some society had that idea.
It seems kind of like the technology of the game, like inside of the game, even updates to some extent. Because
okay,
well, like because Jumanji, Alan Parrish in the original Jumanji was like a caveman who lived in like the woods.
Oh, that's super weird. Because in this Jumanji, there's like the kid was just hanging out, sipping margaritas all day. Why didn't Alan do that?
Yeah, like there's some pretty decidedly current as of 2017 technology and like current-ish helicopters. So it seems like even the inside of Jumanji changes with the times.
Yeah, for sure.
So then, yeah, like so you can't even say like I would try to date it like, oh, Van Pelt in the original Jumanji is like a turn of the century adventurer man, like Nigel Thornberry, but from the past. Because that could just be a thing from the present day when Jumanji turned into a board game. But like, yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
What like just I just like, and it doesn't matter, but it kind of matters because then it's like, why not just make it a board game again? Have them get sucked into the board game. Why does it have to be a video game?
Oh, because
is it just to facilitate the avatars?
Yeah, and like, how would you get those four to play Jumanji the board game? Right. I mean, I don't know why it always has to be kids. That is like a different question, but yeah, that's like weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely very weird. And like inside, if you're playing Jumanji from outside of Jumanji, it really is just like roll the dice. Hopefully, it doesn't give you an animal that kills you. Keep doing that. Like if you got lucky and if you were playing Jumanji in a place where like the monkeys couldn't steal the board or something, you could conceivably finish Jumanji in like half hour, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's not a hard game. You really just have to keep rolling dice until you're done.
think he gets to, like, go again if you roll doubles or something. Like, you know.
I think that's right.
But yeah, like, point definitely taken.
But if you go into Jumanji in video game land, you have to like complete Uncharted, and yeah, like it's not even the same. Like I don't know, because it's not like when little the kid who screwed the Jonas brother, when he's in there, it's not like it's. Or do you think it was like the game Adventure where you just swing on a vine in like pixels? And then as time went by, he became more of a 3D person, you know?
Oh, maybe. I didn't even think about that, but it's definitely a solid theory.
Because if he got pulled into this game now, it'd be and like it was this game that it is now, I'd be very like, what is this?
It's gonna be full VR.
Is this what this is?
Yeah, something nuts.
But also, time doesn't move in the game very much, which I also find very strange.
Yes. Yes.
Just as a conceit of the game.
Wait, what's the conceit of the game?
Is that like as part of the game, time doesn't if you're in the game, time moves slowly for you or slowly,
or not at all. Apparently, from some information we get later,
he thinks he's in there for a week or like for a couple of weeks or something, and he's been in there for 20 years. But he doesn't know that, which is weird. Which is why it's weird that his guy is still a young kid, and that's why I kind of got tricked into thinking maybe Nick Jonas played the kid in the beginning of the game. Or movie.
Yeah.
Because his guy isn't pilot aged. That's not what I would expect from a pilot character in a video game.
That's true. You need some like grizzled. Actually, it's always the old guy.
Yeah.
The old guy's always the pirate.
It's like Sully from Uncharted or like that kind of guy.
How did Nick Jonas wind up in this movie? Sorry.
Well, no. Go on.
Oh, I was just kind of saying to myself, how did Nick Jonas wind up in this movie? But that's not a question that needs answering.
Yeah, I don't know. He's I don't mind him in it. He's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's kind of fun. I don't know. I didn't. Okay. So the kids all go to detention. They get in the game. They all pick their guys. One of them picks a curvy genius or something, and that turns out to be a guy.
Yeah.
That turns out to be Jack Black. That's a pretty tricky way to sell that character.
I liked it.
I don't think the game was very fair to that girl. I don't think in the 1980s we were calling that character would be described as a curvy genius. But hey, whatever. Also, real quick on my board, and your board, we have a couple of these. So you were asking if you can keep students in Saturday detention. I think you can.
You can't, right?
Yes, I think you can.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How?
I think Saturday detention is a real thing.
Don't go. They can't make you.
Oh, yeah,
right?
no, don't. Well, in Breakfast Club, it's a Saturday, too. I think you can just do it.
Oh, that was in the lawless lands of the 1980s.
The 1980s, yeah. Especially when your principal was like a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
So the principal in this is just like Sean from whatchamacallit, from Good Place.
Yeah.
Who's like not great, but he's also not a supervillain. Like a drill instructor.
I'm a huge fan. I think he's great.
Oh, I love him in real life, and like his roles are great. But like I'm saying, like his character wasn't like, I hate kids, I want y'all to work on Saturday. He seemed like he was just like, listen, I have to do this. You guys are all kind of, you all have problems. You have to work out with each other. So
can we just like
out.
Make this work? Yeah. Like your average like principal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I had a question. So this one really killed me. Remember because the first thing we're introduced to in the present day is whatever the main kid is, Spencer, playing video games. He's playing like Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah.
He gets a text from Fridge, and he loses his game.
Yep.
What? You don't have to answer a text immediately. You can also usually pause a game. Even if it's online, just wait. Give it 10 seconds. He's all upset that he lost. It's like, dude, is this your first video game?
It's like, this is on you, bro. This is on you.
And then another thing, they did maybe one of my least favorite lines in history. I think we really have to get rid of this line as a joke in all movies. But
okay.
I mean, I don't remember exactly what the line is, but it's something to the effect of the unpopular girl is being challenged by the gym teacher on like, you have to do sports, you have to do gym. She's like, I don't play sports. I'm not the kind of guy that gets his tennis racket and takes it onto the baseball diamond and gets a touchdown, 5 points, hooray. Like, come on. It's the dumbest joke. It's never funny. I don't even think it's funny to kids. I really don't.
Oh, no. Dude, it's like,
you don't have to know their touchdown 7 points, but you kind of got to know what sport it's in, which this girl does not know.
It's like, maybe it's for like all the kids who love that ironic shit. Like, oh yeah, she's like going against the man. Woohoo! Like maybe that's what it's for. Is my best
do you think her
guess.
Kid was saying that on purpose, just to piss off the teacher?
Yeah, maybe that's also super possible. Be like, because that's one of the things, right? People know that some people hate the phrase like, oh, sports ball. So they just say sports ball because they know it annoys people.
I hope all those people go to Jumanji. I'm tired of them.
You're
Get
done
rid
with
of you
sports ball, right?
people. Just stop saying it. If you think it sounds cool, and this is like, if you've been saying it up until this point, fine. If you're an audience member or someone that listens, because if you listen to this podcast, you're cool and you're great. However, piece of advice for the future. Nobody thinks that's funny. The people that say it, I don't really think it's that funny. And the people that hear it, it's the most annoying thing. It's so like old hat.
Yeah. It's almost ear poison for me.
Yeah, me too. It's like in movies when a character calls Facebook like, I'm on my, or like face space, or the Facebook. I'm on the face chat. Like, come on, you know what it is. We all know what it is. It's not cute. But listen, if you listen to this show, you're cool. Don't take it personally. So then they start playing this game. They all pick their characters. They get Thanos snapped into the game because that is the default effect, even though this movie came out before Infinity War. So really, Thanos Jumanji snapped them all out of existence.
Whoa.
Fair.
Well, like in this, they get digitized, right? Like that's the thing.
Like technically, but the effect is very Thanos.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not like they get turned into like ones and zeros. They turn into like sand and evaporate.
Okay.
Then they all go into the game. They all check if they have dicks. Some of them do, some of them don't. Real tiny nitpick. Kevin Hart's guy doesn't know what a backpack is. He looks at his backpack that's on his back and goes, what is this? It's a backpack, Fridge. It's not an extreme. It's a big backpack. You can be like, wow, what's in this backpack? But what is this? It's a backpack. Let's see. What else we got here? Okay, so DJ, you want to talk about the whole video game thing. Just like how quickly they accept that as a premise.
Yo, it's crazy. They all get in and they're all like, oh, we look different. And they're processing it to figure out who's who. And then the nerd guy, the main guy, The Rock, goes, guys, I think we're in a video game. Like, none of them go, I'm dreaming.
Yep.
Oh, God, we almost got knocked on the head, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
there must be fumes down here or something. I think there's a gas leak. And I have died. And this is the rest of my imagination.
It's like, we're in a video game. Like, that's, as far as the four of you know, unless, like, you heard about Jumanji, that's never happened in the history of ever. So why do you think that happened?
Yeah, I know. And I think it makes way more, obviously it doesn't make any sense that there's a magic video game that makes you go into the game. But just, if I were in this world and I were Spencer, I think I would think I'm in my own fantasy world because the guy I don't like that's mad at me is short. The girl I probably don't care for too much. She's a fat guy now. And the girl I like but, isn't really into me is hot, and now we kiss. Like, it's... And I'm a cool, tough guy who everyone loves. Like, of course this is a fantasy. I can't imagine why he would jump, why any of them would accept the conclusion that it's video game, because a lot of the video game stuff is not presented as video game stuff. Correct. Some of it is. If you touch your chest, your weaknesses and stats come up. So like, okay, you have like a HUD, or like there's just like information displayed on screen. However, there is no life bars. It's just tattoos on your arm.
Yep.
So Jumanji's like coy about some things, but not other things.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And like, it's not like, because they have the NPC who's like, welcome to Jumanji, exposition. And then they're like, oh, fuck, we're in a video game.
Yeah.
Like, I remember playing a video game where this happened.
We're going to record that again. I want you, not record it again because we'll keep the original. I want you to do it with a New Zealand accent. As Rhys Darby, classic character actor, one of my favorite people. What would he sound like if you were saying his lines from the movie?
Okay. Welcome to Jumanji. We got a task for you. You're gonna stop the guy with the gem, and he's a real bad guy. But you're gonna get in there, you're gonna stop him. You're gonna really muck things up for him. Yeah, Jumanji.
Not terrible. I think you're closer to Australia, like mainland Australia, than New Zealand. Because he's more of like a Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I'm so bad at parsing it. It's probably super offensive, and they're gonna cancel me now. But
you're getting canceled.
I'm getting canceled.
I think we have a fair amount of Australian viewers. I love Australians. Some of my favorite people on the planet. Well, love New Zealanders too.
I was gonna say I think those are the ones I offended. I guess it could be both. But I'm sorry to anyone I offended. My apologies.
I forget who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody the other day, another YouTuber, and he was from New Zealand. And what the basic like kind of thrust of what he was saying about New Zealand celebrities is just they're happy to be involved.
Okay.
As long as you say that we're New Zealand, you're like, yeah, like acknowledging them and acknowledging Rhys Darby, the funniest man on earth. But,
cool.
Yeah, cool. So if we ever want to use Rhys Darby lines in this, we have to give him his classic Australian accent. Even though, this I think is very important, Jumanji as a continent or whatever is everyone. Mm-hmm, they're not Australian. They're not, Middle Eastern. They're definitely not African. They're not, they're really not Asian. You got very, very few Asian people or characters in this at all. And it's not American, although Bobby Cannavale's character is just like an American guy, Yeah, he doesn't have an accent.
Is there anyone explicitly like British people? I'm trying to think.
So Van Pelt in the original is British. I don't think there are in this game.
Okay.
In Jumanji 1, or in this one, Welcome to Jumanji. Why isn't it called Welcome to Jumanji? Whatever. That's a horrible title too, but it can't get much worse. Yeah, I don't think so. I think you only meet a couple of NPCs, shockingly. It's mostly just them wandering around. What's the accent for the guys that are guarding the airplane hangar?
I cannot remember.
I think they are like, hey, lady, you lost here? Like, I think they're either Australian or British or something.
Okay.
They are not New Zealand, and they are not American, I don't think.
Okay.
So they're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so, like I said, the game seems to be constructed by someone who both knows some things about video games and doesn't. It knows that there are NPCs, but doesn't seem to really know how they work or have any consistent logic for how that works in this universe.
Yeah.
Because the bad guy's usually an NPC, right? He's not like the rest of them.
That's true. He has a full thrust in everything. So, great point.
And he exists on his own outside of their world. He just does his own thing sometimes.
Maybe there's classes of NPCs.
He's definitely a good high class. It almost seemed like his character should be a guy that's also in Jumanji that like got sucked in and decided to like kill everybody in and like rule Jumanji with an iron fist.
Yeah, like it's weird that there aren't more. Well, I don't know, weird, but like there should be more people in Jumanji, and they're just like, we're like even with the 3 life system, there's probably some people who are like, I'm gonna live in here now. I might be immortal. So
yeah. Don't get killed. It's not easy, but it's also not really that hard.
Yeah, Nick Jonas,
especially with the NPCs, they're all pretty stupid.
Yeah. Nick Jonas just lives.
Yeah, he's having margaritas.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a great life in Jumanji. I'm not positive about this. Are there any women in Jumanji?
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't think there are. I think it's mostly guys. They probably walk by 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure every NPC we ever interact with is a man.
Maybe that's why the NPCs, when Karen Gillan like flirts with them, they're like, "What?"
Yeah,
they do not know what they're seeing.
It doesn't even
interest
them. They're just
assume
okay.
Everyone in Jumanji has a penis. They're just
why wouldn't you? I mean, the characters announce it when they get to Jumanji. They have to tell you, "I have a penis. This is terrific."
Yeah. So they're very aware.
Yeah. God, the penis thing is so. I know. We're sitting on we're not gonna stop talking about this because it's so weird. But it is so weird. It's the weirdest individual like mechanic of this movie. So also we're like, and I gotta mention this. We're like an hour in. There's so much we haven't even touched.
Oh,
and
man,
but it's fine. I don't know.
Because it's like. It's not complicated though. Like know
not even a little bit. I mean, it is but it is complicated. Like
which bits? Like what do you think?
How it breaks its own rules constantly. Like every 20 minutes there is a new, or even 20 seconds. There's a new rule that it created 20 minutes ago that it is broken.
Yeah, that's super fair.
Can we talk about how characters die?
Yeah. So when you die, you something happened, like how you would die in a video game, but then you fall from the sky in superhero landing back in, no problem.
Yeah, so unless you're one of the dorky ones, then you like fall on your face.
Yeah, it's true. So that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. In order, the deaths as I remember them. Jack Black gets eaten by
the hippo.
A hippo?
Yep.
Karen Gillan gets shot.
Yep.
The Rock gets pushed off a cliff by Kevin Hart.
The fridge, yeah. Kevin Hart.
The fridge. Then then Kevin Hart gets killed by rhinos.
Doesn't he eat
Am I
cake
missing one?
first?
Yes, the cake. There we go. He eats cake and explodes in the most boring and dull joke of the movie.
Yeah, it's
Like,
very silly.
As far as setup, like payback, or yeah, like it just payoff. It's like setup. At one point, it says weakness cake. 10 minutes later, he eats cake and he explodes. Okay, whatever. Like, it's not that interesting. It's not that funny. But he did that.
Yeah, he did. He did. He did that real well.
He did, and you know what? He exploded. You know what? Sometimes you get the deaths are pretty violent too, like surprisingly violent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you think you feel it?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Like if you got ripped in half by a gorilla, would it be like
would
painful
you feel,
and agonizing?
And you come back and you would have that knowledge, right? And then how do the kids process that? Ooh, that's a good question.
Because like Karen Gillan got shot in like the abdomen, and enough that she died. Like, but she didn't bleed to death. She exploded into a little burst of blood.
Yeah, which is what?
Not how video games work.
Or Nando, did you consider that's how the bullet worked?
Maybe it was like a Judas bullet from Luke Cage, and it explodes in your body.
Exactly. You didn't think about that one, did you?
Yeah, I don't think the game, except for the game was pretty like spent a lot of time with after the dumb cake thing, spent a lot of time with zoology as Kevin Hart's specialty.
Oh, that's right.
Everything's kept coming back to zoology, but besides that, I never felt like there was an interesting payoff with any of their skills after like a minute. It just said what their skills were, and then everyone did it, and then it was never really brought up again.
Yeah.
Rocket's good at boomerang. What's his name's good at Jack Black's good at maps. They did those, and then it's fine.
It's also interesting that Jack Black was the only one who could see anything on the map, because like not how maps work. Everyone can see.
No, not at all. Hey, Jack Black, be helpful. Maybe grab a pencil, draw what you can see, so everyone else can see it.
Yeah, right. That is how cartography works.
And the map doesn't matter. They just go to the one city, get the thing, and then the guy takes them where they need to go. The map isn't really a big part of it. Once you find the pilot, he's kind of in charge.
Yeah, it's true.
Also, his skill is pilot, but he's bad at being a pilot.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's the point of the school bus in the Jumanji like vault of vehicles? Why? Where did it come from? Why do you want it? Is there a character that they have not unlocked who's like a bus driver and their skill is school bus? Like, I don't understand that at all.
Well, no, because we know there's no one who had that because they had all five, right? Because there's a character select screen.
True.
One was taken. There was only four, so they had them all.
Like that is like I think one of the funny parts about this game is. It's funny, both times Jumanji is played, there's a guy in Jumanji, back from their original Jumanji experience when the game kind of fit the rest of the games at that time.
Yeah.
So when Alan Parrish was playing, it was like the 60s or something, and it kind of, I guess, looked like a 60s board game. And then when they play it in the 90s, it's a little old. Same thing here. When the Jonas Brother was playing it in the 80s, it was an 80s, like, Atari-style video game. And now it's still old. You kind of figure Jumanji would just turn into a PS4 or something, like a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Just so it would be more enticing to the kids, because it seems like it can do that if it wants. What does it want?
What does it want?
Does it want to teach them a lesson?
What the fuck is the lesson?
Flirt. Kiss. Kiss, kids, kiss. The hot ones aren't that cool, and the nerdy ones can be cool if they want to be.
I guess.
Something like that.
Seems like a terrible lesson.
You could have been short if you wanted to. What's life going to be like for that girl? For the popular one who had a penis for a couple
and
years.
then no longer is a penis.
Yeah, no longer. She can have like a phantom. Now people get their limbs cut off. They have like a phantom limb.
Will she have a phantom penis?
Honestly, I think it's really gonna bug her.
Really gonna fuck her up. Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that.
But so some of the deaths. So those deaths. The pilot is down to one death, which is why he's drinking margaritas and just chilling out, not really trying to play the game.
Which, like, good call. That's how you do it.
Hey, yeah, and you're able to do that. Do it. Like, get more people into Jumanji. What if you die? What if you were on life support and you got sucked into Jumanji? Could you live there forever?
You're good, right?
Yeah.
It's like the reverse. So. Like, if you die in the game, you die in real life. But also, if you die in real life, you die in the game. Right.
Yeah,
like,
and if you die in real life, if you're about to die in real life, you can live in the game for a while.
Yeah.
seemingly forever, because it's not like the pilot guy. I don't want to call him. Is there like a guy? What's the name? No, it's Owen Thunderguns. That's what they call the character. What the Red Letter Media guys. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's not like he ages the 40 years he's supposed to have aged or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you got an 80 or 90-year-old person, threw him in this game, they could conceivably live 40, 50 years as The Rock until they didn't want to. They've created this game is heaven. Like
that's true.
But it wants to get people.
Well,
it's like trying to.
Right, but like getting people, maybe that's the thing. Maybe the game wants everyone to be inside, but like to stay in there, it's like, oh, God, what that fucking episode of Futurama with the weird happy singularity that's like, come home and you'll be happy. Maybe it's that. Eva, whatever.
Yeah. Yes. The one Patton Oswalt, I think, is the guy that plays.
Yeah.
Or no, David Cross.
Maybe that's Jumanji.
There's a oh God, what was I just thinking? There's another thing that this is. Oh, it's kind of like It, where it's like it could be construed as It, where it has to eat kids, but it also has to be a game. So it has to get kids in, kill them in the game, and then that's how it feeds. It's like an ancient spirit.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe, I guess.
Sure, why not?
To be fair, I don't want to ever do Jumanji Origins where we follow around like Jumanjo the wizard and watch him create Jumanji, because that would be awful.
I disagree.
However,
please make that movie tomorrow.
I mean, it could be good.
I want that movie.
You figure that guy could be played by The Rock too. He could just put his, his guy in there.
I am Jumanjo.
Yeah.
I will live forever through my game.
Yeah. He's Jumanjo, the evil spirit man who wants to eat all the kids. And then he's like, you know what would be the most roundabout dumb way to do this? To make a game that anybody who's kind of thinking it through could figure out. Like, the kids also, they only at the very end of the movie seem to get how the lives can be helpful.
Yeah.
Right? When Kevin Hart is getting killed by the rhinos, or rhinos, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, when he drops the egg, because sure. And, or is it not egg? Like the little jewel of Jumanji, I think it's what. Yeah, gem of Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Yes. Jewel Manji. Well, you guys say like, Jumanji. I don't know. That's actually not very good.
Or at the end, Jumanji! Like you're at the top of the aggro crag. And you're like,
yeah. Right? So he falls out of the helicopter. Mm-hmm. And like, this is the end of the game, and they need this.
Yeah.
He's not like, okay, here's what we can do. I'll jump off, get it, and die, have the most lives that's helpful for us. He has to be tricked.
Yeah.
And then he runs away. It's like, no, whatever. Just do it. Like, you're going to be fine. Like, it's going to suck for a second, but you're not going to beat the rhinos, and this may not have been the plan for you, but have you not considered that as a helpful part of the plan?
Yeah, that your lives are more of a kind of resource that we can leverage.
Yes. And the lives give them stupid powers that don't make any sense. Like, if you die and you're holding something, you get to have it.
That was the worst. Oh, my God. Was that on my wheel? I remember being very perturbed by that.
We can be at the end. Basically, let's just get through Bobby Cannavale and how dumb he is. Well, also, real quick, NPCs in Bobby Cannavale. So the game thinks it's very cute, and the movie does, how it handles NPCs, non-player characters, where it's like, this is a non-player character, and NPCs are like, here's what Jumanji is. Or not even, here's what Jumanji is. It's like, welcome to Jumanji, a real place that I think is real, even though I don't exist, or whatever. And if you talk to them, they will, like, say the same thing to you, right? Like,
yeah, like, welcome to Jumanji. Here's the map. And then you're like, thank you. Where could I find the storage bin? Welcome to Jumanji. Here's the map. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, 2017, we knew how, like, conversation trees worked and stuff.
Yeah.
You'd think he could at least be like, this is the map. It's a helpful tool for you in Jumanji. But no, he's like, it really is like, welcome to Jumanji. It's not even like a video game. It's more like an amusement park ride, like the caravan or Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
Where if you just do the ride twice, the guys all just say the same thing because that's what that guy says. But yeah, so they meet that guy. They meet the kid who's like, Doctor, whatever, you're the best. Come get killed by this rattlesnake. And then they meet the guys that are the bad guys. That what's her name? Karen Gillan has to dance fight. And they all do that though. Like if you go up to them, they will say like, "Hello, adventurer. What are you doing here?"
Hey, what was it? Hey, little lady, you look lost. That was
yes, that's right.
Just that over and over and over again.
Where was I going with this one? Oh, so dumb side quest. I really want to knock a couple of these out real quick. Mm-hmm. They have to beat a snake. They do it the dumbest way.
It was a staring contest. JK.
Well, and like the snake was sitting pretty in a like a basket kind of thing with like a top on it.
Yeah.
And The Rock is like, "Okay, I'm gonna do a staring contest, or you do staring contest. I'll grab it, and then we'll figure something out then." And he does that. And Kevin Hart's like, "Defang it. You got to defang it." Like, no, just put it in the basket. That was fine. Put it in the basket. Put Rock on the basket. You're not what? Like, this would be probably the point in the game where I'd start being like, okay, who has the most lives? Just stick your hand in, pick it up, and then we'll run.
Yeah, right. Like, just be really clever about how you use the lives, because they should.
Also, and The Rock has weapons.
Yeah,
but he doesn't really use them besides the boomerang.
I mean, I guess not.
I think it is funny. There's one funny bit where he comes out of a room with a boomerang. Do you remember that when Karen Gillan's doing her dance fighting? And he just comes out real quick, like, "Do I have to save her?" And he's just like casually holding the boomerang, but he doesn't. Huh. But that's pretty funny. Yeah, and then the movie ends. Do you want to describe what the end of the movie is? It's hard. It's really, there's a lot going on, surprisingly.
So they get the gem to whatever, because they have to. Hooray, whatever. It doesn't matter. And they say, Jumanji! And they win. And it doesn't matter at all. And then they come back, and, oh, guess what? The guy who was the pilot, he got to live his life, because Jumanji doesn't care about time, apparently, and it just spits you out wherever you entered. Wherever you enter is where you get spit out. And then the nerds wind up together, and they're all friends now. I think is that it?
Kind of.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a weird moment where the 16-year-old girl's like, "So we're boyfriend and girlfriend now, right?" And he's like, "No, I'm 40. No, thanks." Like,
I forgot about that part. Oh, and I'm married.
I get that we were in love for like 10 minutes, but it's fine.
That was so many years ago for me. I realized for you it was only like 10 minutes or whatever, but it was a long time for me. I had a while to get over it.
Yeah, he's like, especially considering how slowly time passed, or quickly, you know what I mean? How time passes so weird in Jumanji. You almost feel like he'd get there, and then they'd be like, "Where are the kids for Jumanji?" And he'd be like, "Wait, what the hell was Jumanji?" Like, "Oh, it was a jungle you were in forever. I got out of, I guess I got out of Jumanji. Oh yeah, there was kids. You were kids? That's interesting. Okay, goodbye." But yeah, and he named his daughter after the one.
Oh, that was so dumb.
It was so dumb.
That was so stupid. We named her this because you saved my life. Which, I mean, yeah, she did. So maybe I shouldn't be so dismissive, but shut up, movie.
No, she had multiple lives. That's how this works. These kids, they just don't get it. Like, they really, I get them being like, "I don't want to sacrifice my life," but like, think it through, kids. It's so obvious how you win this game. And they're kids, sure, but the one's a 16-year-old nerd or something. Like, he should know better.
He's the one who from the get-go is like, we're in a video game. So he should have an incredible advantage because he very early on figured out what happened. So, right? He should have the advantage.
Yeah.
We're in a video game.
But wait, I wanted to go over real quick the mechanic that they used to win the game, because it's dumb bullshit.
Oh, what? Oh, I don't think I know.
The way they get because they have to get the gem from the floor to the top of the mountain.
Oh my God. Oh, this was so stupid.
So stupid.
So, and that's the thing I was talking about. We're like holding the thing, right? Are we talking about something different?
No, yeah, we're talking about what you're talking about.
So, yeah, Karen Gillan has the gem, right? And Bobby Cannavale is like, "You'll never get it up there." And she's like, "I still have 2 lives." So she like jumps off or something, somehow kills herself. And then she respawns from the sky to the top of the mountain and wins.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's so dumb.
Yeah,
like,
it's quite dumb.
That's the thing. And I don't not like this movie. I think it's fine. I think it's a little bit kind of like, I think it's very middle of the road in a lot of ways. I think it does a pretty good job with everyone but Kevin Hart at giving them something that's at least fun to watch. But I do think I think as far as things it sets up and it feels very all over the place, very messy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not necessarily saying that the writer is bad, or there could be a million reasons why like it doesn't fit correctly. But I just feel like, and you'd have to rewrite this movie to make it any sense. You'd really have to like go through it with a fine-tooth comb and be like, okay, so why does this guy do this? How does this one's character arc complete this part of his like video game guy's like journey and skill set and whatever. Because I don't know, like it just doesn't. The girl, the unpopular girl, it's not like she wouldn't do that in a situation. It's not like she's not smart. It's just none of it is an interesting, what's the word I'm looking for? Like an interesting continuation or I guess conclusion of their arcs. They just kind of win because they do, because someone figures out kind of how to exploit the rules of the game, and not even in a like clever way, in like a way that when you watch the movie you're like, that's dumb, that's bullshit. You guys didn't learn the lesson of Jumanji. You kind of just...
Yeah, no, I know. It's so stupid.
Why doesn't the helicopter work? I forget.
I forgot too.
I think it like breaks in some way, but like was it always going to, or if things went well, could they have just taken the helicopter right to the top of the mountain?
Oh, maybe. Right? God, this fucking...
And then like Bobby Cannavale's guy would just be there, and Jumanji would reset, and he'd be like, oh yeah, right, them. Okay.
Also, why does Bobby Cannavale want to do what he's doing besides plot?
Because he's got all kinds of chunk in his ear. I don't know. His guy, it really is because plot, but it's weird. At one point, they watch a memory from Rhys Darby, and they say this is a cutscene. But then later, we see what you would assume is also a memory, but it's not a cutscene. It's just a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
it's just us checking in on the villain. Why not just have... All you need to do is have the character say, oh, another cutscene? God, can we skip this? And then, no, it's just Bobby Cannavale.
That would have been so funny. Oh, man. Like, pause, like, bloop, skip.
Yeah, and then just like, I don't know how all video games do this, but a 4-player video game like Overwatch, it's just like press space to skip, and then everybody has to do it except for one guy, and it's like, come on, we're skipping this, we gotta go home. No, I want to watch. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's like this
you just don't get it.
It's getting good.
The girl could be like, he's cute, I like him. I don't know. But yeah, he's got like worms in his ear and stuff. Weird choice for Van Pelt.
Yeah.
I get that the Hunter guy's probably too old, but we can't just modernize that.
It would have been interesting if they went in that direction. Like, because then it's all really connected. Some of this fake bullshit.
Yeah. And if it stayed like a 50s-ish or whatever generation it was going for thing, you could almost be like, oh, I get what Jumanji is. It is a
exactly.
50s, like fantasy 50s, 40s, whatever, jungle, like Tarzan world, and... You go to it and you have an adventure or whatever. There's no blenders. There's the guns are old. And would add a little style to it. You kind of could have used that premise as a springboard to keep the design kind of consistent, but yeah, that is not what it is.
Unfortunately so.
What
a silly...
There weren't cameos, right? The only cameo was when what's his name's like, this is Alan Parrish's house. We're just living in it. And I'm like, yeah, well, cute, but just don't make this movie. You don't have to make it. Is that what we're going to get in all that when we inevitably remake like Mrs. Doubtfire? This is Mrs. Doubtfire's wig. I'm just wearing it. Or like, when we remake like Toys, these are whatever his name is, his toys. I'm just playing with them.
I surely hope not.
It's cute, but it does come off like... And I guess it doesn't come off like he would be like, no, just don't make the movie. But it almost is like, just don't make the movie.
It would upset me to an inconsolable level if something like that were to happen.
That's just how Hollywood works. You just got to keep making them forever until we die.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well.
But, hey, man, what are you going to do? So Jumanji Next Generation or whatever, Next Level. It seems like it's almost exactly the same movie, except Kevin Hart's guy is a horse, and Danny DeVito and not Donald Glover. Yeah. Danny Glover are also guys, and that's it. I have no idea what the pitch for this movie is.
What, Nando? It's been made $1 billion. Let's do it again. It's absolutely the pitch.
Do you think all movies now, I really think 22 Jump Street really screwed us over with this like super self-aware, like we're going to do it again. Because I love 22 Jump Street enough. I haven't watched it since I saw it in theaters. But like they were very, very like coy about like, we're going to do it again with bigger budget. Do you think that's every sequel that doesn't really know why it exists, but it does is going to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we Mad Maxing again? Because we need even more gas. I'm Furiosa's sister. Furiosa 2. Come with me. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's almost like the Wonder Woman movie where it's like, there's no good reason to put Chris Pine in there. I think they've kind of come up with an okay one, but it's like, just do something new, please.
What is the reason?
Please.
Do we know the reason?
I have a guess. It seems like some sort of deal with the devil type situation, if I had to make a guess.
Well, that sucks.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Fun.
So he shouldn't be in the third one, please. But
double deal with the devil.
I made a deal with Jumanji, the mega devil, the wizard Jumanjo, who we all hate.
I can't wait to see Jumanjo. I'm serious.
I can't either. It's going to be. I mean, at some point, the thing has to fight back because we have to figure out what Jumanji wants because it wants something. Yeah. And then the wizard Jumanjo, who's been trapped in Jumanji, has to get all of his powers back and just take over the world. I don't know.
It's all mine.
Yeah, only 4 kids, and I guess Kirsten Dunst can stop me. Ha ha.
Oh, they'll get them all back. Oh, yeah.
You'd think so, right? The main kid doesn't act anymore. The one that's the kid that turns into the monkey in original Jumanji. But then you got Bonnie Hunt and Kirsten Dunst are still around. Bill Bellamy is still around, I think. And then all the guys from this. And I get Tom Hanks' son, or the kid that's the pilot. I don't know which one you want, but yeah, you could do a super Jumanji movie.
Let's do it.
Do a VR one. That'd be fun. Have them all wearing the VR glasses that Jumanji has become now, and just they're doing the adventure, but at the same time they're just running around in traffic looking like dorks. I don't know.
I think the Wizard Jumanjo is going to win.
I hope so. I mean, I don't think he really has to do too much work. I don't know if it doesn't seem like it seems like he wants to teach kids lessons. Well, all of the rules, all the logic internally make it seem like he wants to eat these kids. But it also seems like he wants to teach them lessons because I imagine the wizard Jumanjo also created the NPC that's here's how you win Jumanji. Because if I'm trying to kill those kids, that's the last thing I'm making. Not giving them a map, not doing any of that. They just have to figure it out on their own, which you could do, movie, if you figured out what Jumanjo wants. Oh. I don't know. Who's going to play the wizard Jumanjo? Who's the third most bankable actor in Hollywood besides Kevin Hart and The Rock?
Let's get Arnold Schwarzenegger. He could be Jumanjo.
Oh, that would be
great.
great.
Jumanjo.
He could fight, what's his name? The Rock. That'd be so much fun.
Listen to me, I am Jumanjo. You are in my realm now.
Yeah.
You think
It'd be have you ever watched Spy Kids 3?
No.
It's the one where Sylvester Stallone creates a video game, but he's also 5 Sylvester Stallones, and one of them's a general. One of them's a scientist. It's super funny. You do that. Make 8 Jumanjos. I don't know, man. We're going to get it, though. There's no way this one won't make $1 zillion, and we're going to keep going. So
Will it? Will it make $1 zillion?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll make $1 billion, but I think it's going to make quite a lot of money.
Oh, I don't see it. I just don't see it.
I think it'll be top 10 of the year. I think that's a safe bet.
Oh, God.
I mean, actually, this is a weird year because of all the Disney, but top 15.
If it's what the people want, it's what the people want, right?
What the people want. Maybe it'll be a mobile game. Maybe it'll be like Pokemon Go. I don't know. I don't know what the evolution of children's games are. Maybe it goes back to being a board game. I honestly don't hate that. It becomes apples to apples, where it's just you go into the world and you do word association. I don't know.
I don't
We'll soon see. Within 3 or 4 years, probably. All right, DJ, do you want to get to our classic segment? Do you want to recommend some things to the fine people?
Yeah, I think it's about that time.
Yeah, let's do it. What do you got?
So I would like to, I was at PAX Unplugged this past weekend. Really fun convention. It's a great time. I always have a blast. And, so it's all board games, right? More than that, board games, tabletop RPGs, really anything under the sun, that's not plugged in.
Card games, right?
Yeah.
There's Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Keyforge, Magic, everything. So I love it, and I'm going to recommend a couple of board games that I played that I would like to pass along. And if you like them, I'd encourage you to check them out. So this first one, it's called Men at Work. It's a really, really fun game. I almost describe it as, or I should say one of my friends described it as reverse Jenga. So the way it works is that you have these little beams. They're like, maybe like they're like an inch tall and they're like half a foot long. So these like little 1x6 inch beams. And you start with this little construction site. So it looks like a triangle. It's got little supports. And what you have to do is you have to build on top of it by adding like workers and more girders. And sometimes the workers are carrying a beam or a brick. And it's totally a game of dexterity. And like if it falls over, you lose a point. But you're like building upwards in this like crazy ass structure.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, games of dexterity are always good because they could be like fun if you have like if you're just like got a few people over and you got a few beers in you and you want to just like try like a little fun game of dexterity and it's just chaos and crazy and no one's breathing because your anxiety's so high while someone's placing the little it's a little meeple worker on this little tiny beam and it's a lot of fun.
Can you buy it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We got it there. I don't know if it's on Amazon. That's the other nice thing about this.
It seems to be.
Is it okay? These conventions, is it like you get some games that you might not be able to normally get elsewhere? So, Men at Work. Is it? I don't see it on Amazon, but cool stuff.
Oh, really? I found it.
Really?
Yeah, by Pretzel Games or something. Is that it? I think it looks. Mm-hmm. It looks like the thing
Pretzel
you described.
Games. Yep, that's it. I'm bad at Amazoning apparently. So that's
it's all I do all day. it's my main skill. If I ever had to stop doing movie like YouTube and start finding a new job, I'd be like Rachel on Friends, where she's a personal shopper, but I just do Amazon. Be a personal
nice.
Googler. Yeah.
So this next one's called Medium, which is also on Amazon. It's a bit harder of a search, but if you do Medium game,
DJ, I'm a professional Amazoner.
Okay, sorry.
That was going to be. I would have switched to toys and games.
Okay.
And then Google the word medium. That's actually tricky. Oh wait, is it like a spirit lady, like a mind
with a
reader
little purple
thingy?
Fortune?
Found it, DJ, immediately.
Yep. Okay. So this game's called Medium. This game's fun. So you got a bunch of cards with words on them. They're different nouns. So the example on like Amazon, you got like magic, theater, Mars, button. So what would happen is Nando and I would both play a card. It's going to be a one-word thing. And then we have to stare into each other's eyes, right? It's like actually part of the game, so we can like connect psychically. And we count down to 3, 2, 1. We have to say the same word based on these cards that we put down. So like, if we put down like what was the example they used? Like water and table, we might do like pitcher or something like that. You know what I'm trying? You're trying to get to
do that, but yes, for sure. Water and baseball, do pitcher or something.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
So, I was thinking like a pitcher of water, but
that's what I'm thinking. Like you're just getting a pitcher, so you're getting at it from both ends. That way.
Oh, true.
Boom. Is this DJ? Is this just an excuse for you to look into my eyes? Is
yes,
this what this
really
game is?
It really is.
Oh man, we got to play this. Do you have this one?
Yes. All these games I bought, I have. So like I'm like officially endorsing them because I spent my money on them. So you could feel free to spend yours. Yeah, it's another like could be a good party game. So and like could be a good drinking game. But basically, so like you try to connect on a word, but if you fail, it's okay. You just have to connect on the 2 new words that you said. So it's almost like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where okay, we said these 2 new words. Let's try and connect on a different word. But it obviously can't be a word that's already been said.
Interesting.
Yeah, so another nice like party game. This one's better. It's only $20 on Amazon. The other one's like $40.
Yeah.
And then the last game I'm going to recommend. This is like a very specific recommendation. I don't know like who's it's for. It's for people.
It's another
like
national park.
I always get me with the national parks. So this game is called Dice Throne, and the best way I could explain this game briefly is it's competitive, not competitive. It's a PvP Yahtzee. So
okay.
The way this game works is that you pick like a hero, or not even a hero, like a hero or villain. They're like a character. So it's almost like Overwatch, where there's all these like outrageous characters. Like there's a ghost pirate and a vampire and a gunslinger and a samurai. And
can I be Van Pelt, the guy with the millipede in his ear?
You could totally be Van Pelt. That's like
nice,
absolutely legal. So.
Oh, wait, is it dice thrown like a chair?
Yeah, exactly.
See, I was looking for thrown, but I get it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
So like a chair. And what it is you have a character with powers, and you activate these powers by playing Yahtzee. So like your ultimate is if you get Yahtzee, all sixes. You get small straight, large straight. Three of a kind. And yeah, so you're playing Yahtzee to activate your abilities to kill the other person.
This sounds like a blast.
It honestly, Nando, it's so fun.
You have this one too?
Fun. I do.
I love a game where I can beat somebody with Yahtzee. Because I love Yahtzee. I'm a big fan of Yahtzee.
Yes. So, yeah, it's like a real thing.
Who's the best class? The one that completely breaks the game?
I think the Ghost Pirate. The Ghost
Okay, cool.
The Ghost Pirate has this mechanic where they have what's called cursed coins or cursed doubloons. They have cursed doubloons, like Pirates of the Caribbean. And if you run out of cursed doubloons, you become the Ghost Pirate. Now, the Ghost Pirate's way more powerful, but you lose life every turn. So you now have a clock on you, but like it's legit so fucking fun.
Nice.
So I think that's the best one. So those are my
cool.
Those are my recommendations. Yeah. If you like any of those, check them out. Go honestly, what I encourage people with board games, I encourage you to go to your local game store. If you don't have a local game store, then absolutely check out Amazon. But usually your local game store can get you like sometimes better prices. Or Cool Stuff Inc. Cool Stuff Inc. So it's Cool Stuff Inc. They're very competitive with their prices. So that would be my very long-winded recommendation. And with that, I will pass it over to you, Nando.
Okay. Well, I have even longer-winded one. Well, not really. So first one, this weekend, all my stuff is streaming service based, so get ready. This weekend I watched a movie that came out on Netflix called Marriage Story. It is Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. The movie's by Noah Baumbach, I believe, and it's just about a couple getting divorced. And it's a little bit funny, but it's mostly like an insane tearjerker, and it's super well acted. And I don't think I've seen a movie where a guy like that's this real about it. Although I've never seen Kramer versus Kramer. I believe that's what that's about, but that's like from the 70s. I haven't seen anything like this in a while. Someone said this is the Black Panther for divorced kids. This is our Black Panther, or for kids of divorced parents. It's interesting. Like, don't watch it before you go out to the bar. That's what I'll say. It's like, sit home, get a pint of ice cream, get under the covers, have nothing else to do for the rest of the night, and just get ready to ball. But it's a really terrific movie. It's not really like very much I've seen before. I think it's got a great shot at winning a lot of Oscars. Obviously, Adam Driver and ScarJo are both unbelievable. There's a lot of other really fun character actors. Specifically, Laura Dern is awesome. Not like character actors, but I guess supporting actors. And Ray Liotta is great. I think he's so funny. Not like funny, but just that character is so, I don't know, watchable. I don't know how to describe it. I think that's Ray Liotta. Now that I think about it, it might not be. He's got a look that I feel like, and he sounds like Ray Liotta, which is, you know what? He disappeared into the part, so good for him. It's gotta be, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. So Marriage Story. It's on Netflix. It's free. I mean, maybe you could see it in a theater. I don't know how that works. But a lot of fun. This week, I guess last week, I finally subscribed to the DC streaming service, DC Universe, or whatever the hell it's called, because I was like, well, first, I can write this off. Second, it could be an expense, because second, the finale of Titans Season 2 came out, and I heard from people that it was just a mess. And people didn't lie. It was. And I've never watched the whole show. Like, I have a passing knowledge of what the first and second season, like the events of it, and I've seen parts of the first season. But even having known almost nothing about the show and like what the events of this second season, I can tell what went wrong. There is a character death in the end of season 2 that is unbelievably tacked on. You couldn't believe it. Here's the best way I can explain it without giving away exactly what it is. Imagine if at the end of Avengers, they all were done and they were all like shaking hands, and then out of nowhere, Hawkeye tripped on a what are those things called? Like a skateboard, and then died. It's like that. It comes out of nowhere. It doesn't matter. It could happen to any character, and it really was just, I got this one's dead. Cool. Have you ever watched Arrested Development?
I have, yes.
Yeah, are you familiar with the episode Save Our Bluths? It's the 3rd season. It's probably my favorite episode of the show. They create a charity fundraiser to save the show because, as a kind of a meta joke, Arrested Development can't stop getting canceled.
Okay, yes.
So they pull out all the stops, and that's the other kind of theme of the episode is characters are like it's like got put your 3D glasses on now moments, and it ends the way shows that do a live episode ends, where they're all like, we did it, and they high five. One bit, they're teasing the death of a character, and it's like, one of these characters is going to die, and then at the very end of the episode, they're just really like, oh, and the old lady died, the one that was racist, she choked on something or whatever. That's what this feels like, which, okay, so that's not what I'm recommending. However, there's good stuff on the DC streaming service, too, and that's what I'm recommending. So first, I watched the first 2 episodes of the Harley Quinn animated show. I love it. It is very funny. It's full of, like, you know, like it's got a lot of vulgarity, I'll say. And I could see people being like, all right, this is a little much. But I think it feels, even more than Deadpool, which is probably what you would compare this to, way more natural in the way characters talk. Like, instead of like Deadpool, where he's like, you're a big fucko made of this and balls and whatever. Characters will just say something, like a character will be like, the Joker told me this, and another character will be like, fuck the Joker. Like, so it's funny. Poison Ivy is great. Harley's great. There's a lot of like background DC characters. It almost feels like Lego Batman movie for adults. It's like second episode is one that heavily features Kite Man, and it's just making fun of that character for an episode. And I don't know, I found it very, very likable. There were a lot of like one-liners that I was like laughing out loud with, and like a loud chuckle, but still like the best you can hope for. I really enjoyed it. So if you get the DC streaming service, definitely watch that. The other thing that's great about the DC streaming service is it comes with a couple of original shows like Titans, Swamp Thing, the one I just named, the Harley Quinn, Doom Patrol, a Stargirl show that's coming, probably one I forgot. And it also you also have like access to what must be almost all of DC's comic backlog, and you can just read them on your phone or like on your computer, I guess. Which is great. And I think I've said this on this show before. I've wanted to get into a DC, because I was thinking, like, what's a DC comic I wanted to read for a while? So I read the first couple issues of Gotham Central, which is a comic about just Gotham police officers, not Gordon, although, like, Renee Montoya shows up. So, like, some of the ones you kind of recognize. Just solving a Batman problem. Like, a thing, a villain shows up, and he does something, and they're like, we want to get revenge on him for what he did. Let's do this without Batman being involved. But it's interesting because it shows the perspective from these guys, right? So it's like in a Batman movie or in a cartoon, Bane shows up at the bank and just throws 3 or 4 people, through a brick wall. And this is kind of like that, where you're like, I guess we have to send a couple guys to fight Bane, but, like, he's going to kill him. Like, he's way better than them.
Yeah.
But it treats it very seriously, and I'm really enjoying it. I've got a little bit to go, but I'm excited about that. I'm still reading X-Men. It's still terrific. I got Excalibur. I got Marauders. I got so much good stuff there. I also bought and haven't read yet a book by Grant Morrison called Klaus, or Claus. I guess it's probably Claus. And it's some sort of like dark, really serious, gritty Conan the Barbarian style origin of Santa Claus. And I hear it's awesome. So I'll report on that when I read it this week. But I just picked it up today. So no report yet. Oh, and Watchmen episode 8 is coming out. I'm going to watch it right when we get done with this. That's like the best show on television. So if you have any interest and you were like, I didn't love the first episode, just keep with it because it's awesome.
All right.
That's all I got, though. A lot of good stuff to recommend. There's a lot of good stuff out there, especially if you're like me, where you're like, I want to get back into all the comics, and I want to, just check in on some of this new content that's being made for these streaming services that I otherwise probably wouldn't give attention to. There's plenty of it. And do I think DC streaming is worth $8 a month? Probably not. But if you're going to read the comics, it might be. If you're just going to watch the 2 or 3 shows that you might want to watch. What's the thing about it, though? And the last thing, I was talking to somebody about this today. If you watch it, so like DC and Disney Plus has way more content. It's got all the old movies and stuff. However, the way I think Disney Plus works is, if you're me, like, you want to watch original series. That's what I buy Disney Plus for. It's like The Mandalorian and stuff. However, it seems like they broke that down demo by demo, and we're going to make one for adult, like this, 45 to 60 plus, and that's going to be Encore. We're going to make one for 25-year-old dudes from 25 to like 40 or whatever, and that's Mandalorian. Make one for kids, make one for really little kids, and then every 6 months there'll be a new one of those. Whereas the DC one is like, if you're going to like one of them, you're probably at least going to be interested in all of them. So like it almost feels like a better value than Disney Plus because I'm the person that it's targeted for. So like I might go back and watch Doom Patrol because like, yeah, I'll watch that in a way that I would never go back and watch High School Musical the series.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Although, real quick, half rec, I love the Jeff Goldblum National Geographic show. I watched the first 2 episodes this weekend. I thought it was terrific. I think it's so fun. He's so likable and does a good job of like organizing the history of like ice cream and shoes. Anyway, that's all. Those are my 4 recommendations. They're all streaming stuff. We live in the future, DJ. It's like we're in Jumanji ourselves.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's what...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say that we both span the gamut because I did board games and you did like streaming stuff.
Yes. Well, see, since we've done board games in Jumanji, we've done video games. Maybe the next episode, maybe the next movie, not this new one, because I believe this is also board games. Maybe Jumanji 4 can just be Jumanji Plus, the Jumanji specific streaming service, and it's just like a romp through Sony's back catalog of the Emoji Movie and like all their garbage. Not that I don't love Sony, because I love Sony, and if they would ever want to employ me, boom, we'll delete this episode first. But yeah, that's all I got. A lot of good stuff.
Woo.
Do you have anything to plug, DJ? Because I have something to plug.
The only thing is, Michelle's got an Etsy store up. She's selling some holiday-specific things like ornaments and stuff. I think she put a Black Panther ornament up. Merry Christmas for all the nerds out there. MC Marvelous Market on Etsy. MC Marvelous Market. So, yeah, check that out.
Michael Caine?
She's the biggest Michael Caine fan. So it's the Michael Caine inspired Marvelous Market.
Awesome.
So yeah, this is Michael Caine signing off.
Signing off. This has been unofficially endorsed by a voice that sounds similar to, but is clearly legally distinct from Michael Caine. Wow.
Welcome to Jumanji. You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah,
just to win the game, you gotta take the gem size of a grapefruit. And
well, I was gonna say, his story about a tangerine becomes very relevant. I was in the jungle of Jumanji.
They were taking these gems and were throwing them away. So just get that gem that they threw away and bring it up to the mountain and say Jumanji.
Yeah, there was a man named Van Pelt who stole the Jumanjis, and we had to get him back. And I won't let you kill yourself, Rip Studwell or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All right.
It's me, Kingsman. You're a Kingsman now. Jack Black one? I don't know. Cool.
All right.
I want to wreck.
More Rex.
Not 2 Rex. Sorry. Plug. 2 plugs. My videos, they're terrific. Plugging them up. I got a really fun Dark Phoenix one that I just saw the first pass at it for, and I love. Which is something we have talked about. I went back and listened. Sorry, I'm moving my microphone a lot, but I'm just trying to get the pop filter to work. If you listen to our Dark Phoenix episode, we talked about this not like explicitly, but we talked about it a little bit. So go back and watch that. I also want to give more of a shout out, I guess, to it's a friend of the show, Tim from Hello Future Me, which is another YouTube channel. He's great. Writes about writing, and a lot of it is specific to Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I do not know very much about. So a lot of times I'm in the dark, although he's done videos on other stuff. He did one Marvel team video that was very good. But he did a charity fundraiser this week for mental health awareness because I believe he used to work for a mental health crisis line back in the day. And I was on it for a little bit, just talking while he was playing Spyro for 24 hours. And they raised a lot of money. They raised like $20,000. It was very cool. So I want to thank anybody that donated specifically because of me or just in general, and also does listen to this podcast because it was very cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, me and the other guys that were working on it, not that it's only guys, but the people that I recognized, like the Sage from Just Right or, Mauricio from Brown Table, we were all, after it ended, like, that was awesome. We should do more like this. So maybe at some point we'll do another one, and maybe in the future I'll remember to plug it. But, I mean, it got plenty of visibility, so But yeah, so that's that.
Sick.
Next week, DJ, what are we doing?
Jumanji, welcome to the internet.
Yeah.
Jumanji breaks the internet. Maybe
was
that's
gonna
where this
say-
has to go. MMO? Maybe like a Jumanji MMO is where this needs to go.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun. Well, have you seen the trailer for that new movie, Free Guy?
No.
I'm sending you that when we're done with this, because that's what it is.
All right.
You're going to like it, I think. But yeah, next week, Jumanji. Week after that, who knows?
All right.
We're getting close to Star Wars. Maybe we'll do a Star Wars wrap-up before that starts. But until then, I am at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Woohoo.
Yeah.